I have my daily rituals. After feeding Branwell, I say good morning to the photograph of Mother and Ellie. It's a picture I took of them myself. They're in Whitby, sitting on what we used to call the halfway bench, the midway point on the steps that run up from the town's cobbled streets to the Abbey. We grew up in a cottage on the North York moors, and Mother never tired of our trips to Whitby, dropping in to see the Abbey like an old friend, or popping over to Scarborough to visit Anne Bronte's grave. In the photo, Mother smiles, a faint sheen of sweat on her forehead from the climb. But Ellie looks restless, as if she can barely sit still long enough for the picture to be taken. Mother's arm is heavy on my sister's shoulders, holding her close while she can, before Ellie darts off. She was a physical child, who always needed to be moving, either running up the steps ahead of us or plunging into the sea, even when the weather was inclement. She'd shiver, wet hair dripping, in the car on the way back. That was before she gave up swimming. The next thing I do each morning, if there's time, is check Ellie's Facebook page. Since yesterday, she's posted a photograph of her and Rose, perched on what strikes me as a perilously high wall for a 2-year-old, looking up at the Eiffel Tower, with the caption, "Another one off the list for Rose. Paris, je t'aime." You can only see the backs of their heads, but the image fills me with longing. Ellie's hair is the same white blonde cloud it always was, but Rose's is thick and brown like mine. Wherever they are, Ellie has a knack of framing the shot perfectly. But she doesn't post as often as I'd like, and as Rose's face has developed over the years, from baby to toddler, I've missed the tiny incremental changes. Sometimes I wake to find they've moved again, another country, or even another continent. She never tells me where she's going next. I just learn through Facebook, like the rest of the world. I try not to get too cross about it, as I move the bit of blue tack on my globe to the new location, to help me imagine where they are. When I get to the bookshop, Ingrid and Liam are leaning against the bike railings outside the staff entrance, both smoking and admiring Ingrid's long legs crossed out in front of her. They barely look up at me as I type the code into the keypad and let myself in. Ingrid and Liam are in their 20s and think they're better than the job. She's an actress, though I've never known her to get an audition, and he's a photographer. He's not her boyfriend, but he'd like to be. What I think of as the old guard, Gareth, the manager, Brenda and me, we're different. We're in our late 30s now. There are certain dreams we've given up on. I suppose that's just part of growing up. I once hoped to be an English teacher, like Mother, but it didn't turn out that way. I still have the chance to talk about literature every day. One of the best parts of the job is introducing the right person to the right book. I like to imagine myself as the bookseller's answer to Jane Austen's Emma. Indeed, such is my aptitude for making matches, I flatter myself I'm more successful. Which is why, when I overhear a tired-looking man asking Ingrid at the till if she can recommend any books about bullying, I step in. Ingrid has already fobbed him off with vague directions to the mind, body and spirit section by the time I reach him, but I believe I can do better. Is the book for an adult or a child? My daughter, she's 9. He shoots me a grateful look while Ingrid scowls. How about Roald Dahl's Matilda? I begin. That's a good one to start with. Or there's The Boy in the Dress by David Walliams. I'm guessing it needs a happy ending. Isn't that a comedy? It's funny, yes, but moving. It's about a child who misses his mother. My daughter does too. He says it so quietly I can barely make out the words. I glance at him and notice how empty and